Just outside Beijing, there is a town that's a tribute of sorts to all things American. This is China's version of Jackson Hole, Wyoming, a strange, sleepy place, a metaphor too for how America, once admired and emulated here, is swiftly falling out of fashion.
每个人的眼光还有需求不一样的，可能
Li Hainan sells properties here. The American style is not the main attraction, he insists. His views are typical too, that China is right to harden its stance against its biggest competitor.
现在我觉得中国肯定坚定它中国的这个现在很多政治原因是有自己的原则的，但是我觉得还是要恪守自己的本分底线。
This visit comes as relations are the worst they've been in decades. It was initially scheduled in February and then postponed by this.
That's my Air Force right there, buddy.
The so-called spy balloon saga. But there are more serious issues to discuss. Taiwan, for example, and what the US has called dangerous military behavior. This, a recent near miss in the South China Sea. China is a place where military might matters, where decommissioned hardware is now a tourist attraction, and people here support China's rapidly growing forces.
我觉得中美早晚得干起来，因为他美国步步的卡你，步步的挤你，让你没有生存空间了。因为中国有一个老话，兔子急了还咬人呢，是不是啊？
The tensions ultimately boil down to an increasingly intense standoff for global influence, and the distrust between the two now runs so deep it's hard to overcome. But the fact this visit is even happening shows there is at least a mutual understanding they need to talk and prevent things from deteriorating further. Indeed, there is a lot at stake, not least $600 billion of trade, despite increasing numbers of tariffs and sanctions.
There is this conundrum that on the one hand, US-China continue to trade with each other, they continue to need each other, but the geopolitical sort of competition means that there's always going to be a little bit of friction. I do think the business community and trade back and forth has been the ballast, has been sort of the evening point of this relationship for years.
Blinken will stay for 2 days of meetings, possibly even with President Xi. There may be little chance of a serious breakthrough, but high-level contact is at least a start. Helen Ann Smith, Sky News in Beijing.